Let's talk about Love Astrology. Some of the charts that are run in the practice. So the most common that you're going to hear about is called synastry. This is a type of chart that's run. It's an overlay based on person A and person B. So you take the natal chart of one person and it's overlaid on the love chart of the other person. And the result of reading synastry is compatibility. That's really what it's about. Is that a chart that I do a lot? Not really. I'm a love astrologer and I run synastries. Yeah, I do. But I just glance at them because the information that they give, in my opinion, is minimal. I think it's good to take a large glimpse of everything. So yes, I do use it in my work, but running harmonics and running other charts and a bunch of other things that are looked at are to me more important. So compatibility is important, but if you have a very deep understanding of the signs, the synastry, you can just kind of cherry pick a couple of things on it. So let's turn to another form of chart, which I think is more interesting. That's the Davidson. And the Davidson is going to give you a theme where, of the relationship. So it's looking at some of the major themes that the relationship is going to have, right? Is that the only chart that I run? Hell no. Oh, I forgot composites. That's one of my favorite. I forgot composites. So you can't run information on a couple without composite charts, because composite charts are gonna kind of fill in things that the Davidson won't really see. Let's talk about some other stuff that I do. So I do have my own. I think after this many years doing Love Astrology, it would be odd if I didn't have my own techniques. So yes, I do. I work a lot more with lunar charts, and I actually work the way that I do things is I know that there's this really big debate on whether something should be Western tropical or sidereal. And to be honest, I feel they work together. I feel there's information between the spaces. So a lot of people are busy saying, "Well, I'm tropical over here." No, I'm a sidereal. It's together. It's the way I see it. There's information between both. There's information on both. And it's both types of forms, part of the puzzle. And I came about this many years ago because I think like a palmist. I was a palmist before I became an astrologer. And I think that's where it came from, where you don't just read the dominant hand. You read the non-dominant hand, but then you read them together and it tells you an entirely different part of the story. So I have my own theories and stuff. If you want, I can make a video on that, but it's very interesting, the information that you find when you congruently put them together. Now, one of the other things that I do, I'll give you an example on how complicated love astrology is. For example, let's say that I'm looking at a married couple and I want to look at some of the things that are going to go on in their situation with in-laws. So these, of course, would be newlyweds. They're already married and they're coming to me for a consultation because they thought it would be cute or romantic to do astrology together. And then I start finding some of the themes that are going to be affecting them with a child, with a business, or no children, and just different houses in different places. Whatever their lifestyle is, I get to look at some of the themes involved with family and friends and some of the things happening between them. So, of course, Davidson is still important. Synastry can still be done. There's a lot of other techniques that can be done. But then, I'm going to dart my eyes right away to each their natal charts separately. And I'm going to look at, for example, the 10th and the 4th. Because the 10th is career, but it also talks a great deal about the dominance of finances between the male and female dynamics. So you're going to be able to look at, is he going to make more than her? Is she going to make more than him? What's the role there? And then versus the fourth, the home they make together. Very, very important. There's other themes that come up once you're married. And then in the natal, you can also see certain milestones that can affect the ultimate love that they would have in the life. So that's also quite important as well. But one of the things that I want to, convey in this that I think is missed a lot, I see a lot of women stare at their natal charts over and over and over, like this magical answer is going to appear. And I say to myself, well, why are you doing that? I've even told them, why are you looking at your natal chart so much? And they're like, no, I'm just trying to understand, the love life. And I'm thinking, the answer's in a horoscope, honey. What are you doing? So, a lot of women, they'll just stare at the natal. And I'm like, yeah, the natal is amazing when you're going to look at major themes. And so are all love charts. But if you want to know about, it depends what you're looking for. You want to know really deep stuff about the guy, you look at his natal chart. But if you want to know about your love life and what's happening now, it's a horoscope. It's going to be something in the horoscope astrology branch, not natal chart readings. The natal chart is going to have amazing info, but big life milestones, like important things that are going to happen that are like epic things. But when you look at the way the life is magnifying glass, like you want to really spread out a piece of a year, or you want to really look closely at a whole year or part of a year, and you want to look at what's going on, you need to look at the right type of chart. So that's why I'm saying it's very important what you're looking for. Now, let's talk about something else with love astrology. Let's say that a woman is wanting to know when she's going to get married. That also is in the natal chart. And that would be there. So if a woman wants to know, the most, I guess, the soulmate and the most epic love, that would be natal. But let's say that she wants to know who's coming into her love life and when. Horoscopes. Now, let's say that she wants to know how she's going to feel in the relationship, or at least in the crush or the dating. That is also a style of horoscope that's a little bit less common. And then, of course, the moon can reveal a great deal of things that are hidden. And and then of course, let's not even talk about the fact that we have to analyze aspects and the houses and a bunch of things too. And there's also time lords and a lot of techniques that, what kind of perfection year you're in. And there's a lot of things like that keep, looking and looking. So you have to adjust the astrology to what you're looking for. And I think that that's one of the biggest, mistakes or confusion points that people have when they're new to understanding this kind of stuff. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that sheds a little bit of light in case you were confused. Anyway, if you have any questions, let me know, and I hope this video helped. Bye!